the earth was divided into regions, we were born with all our differences.
Mom, look at that! Mom, why is my skin white and theirs are not?
That's what we call differences, honey. And we're supposed to take care of one another. It's beautiful, right?
As time goes on, views and values towards something develop, whether they're good or bad. These opinions won't divide them.
Dek, pegang baik-baik layangannya supaya tidak putus.
It will make them stronger. This is who they are. Isn't it so much better than how you thought it will be?
Batik iki seru dipelajari, ben ora ilang budayane.
Mother Earth. Its radiance. Its greatness. Its beauty will never fail. It's outstanding.
It's amazing. I want to feel this forever.
It will always radiate the truth without needing to say anything. Even the development of modern life can never break them. Because they are one.
Hey son, what you got me for dinner tonight?
I got you some nasi goreng.
From the deepest part of my heart, standing here beside them isn't just about the journey, but it's also about the feeling. The feeling that will never run out and will never be fade. Because you will keep seeing and finding new wonders here. Wonders that are priceless. Feel the wonders and finding where you feel the most alive. For me, it's here. This land will always win. The more you feel, the more you know.
Hi, good morning from Davos, Switzerland, and good afternoon for Indonesian audience. Thank you so much for having us today, the third days of Indonesia Pavilion in Davos, Switzerland. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to have a lot of discussion on tourism. And it's my pleasure here to introduce Ms. Hanifah Makarim, the Director of Akses for Finance and Acting Director for Investment Management, also Deputy for Industry and Investment from the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy, Republic of Indonesia. And we have two sessions today. Ms. Hanifah, first of all, will present about the policy and the tourism landscape in Indonesia, and myself, Vidya from Traveloka, Lifestyle Super App. Ms. Hanifah, time is yours.
Thank you, Vidya, for the introduction. Good morning, everybody. As mentioned before, my name is Hanifah from the Minister of Tourism and Creative Economy. So I have a presentation here. As you see before the video, I think maybe some of you already come to Indonesia before. We have plenty of interesting place to see. We are in this minister, we promote the tourism and also the creative economy. So the tourism is include the transportation, the destination, the accommodation and all. And the creative economy, we have 17 subsector such as culinary, movie, craft, music, film, digital apps, game developer and others. We have 17 subsector for creative economy. Okay, this is just the outlook for Indonesian. Since 2020, of course, I think the tourism is decreasing all over the world because of the pandemic. Not only in Indonesia, but I think it's all over the world. We have decreasing of visitor, especially the international visitor. Is very decreasing in 2020, but this year is already increased, especially the domestic tourists, because of the border closing. We focus in the domestic tourism in last year, and this year we already open for international tourists. This is the number. This is also still the number since the last 3 years before. Okay, this is our GDP, especially in the tourism and creative economy. I think you can see later on. Okay, this is also the trend. In this year is already increasing. The number of tourism is already come to Indonesia, because we don't have any quarantine anymore. International tourists are welcome to Indonesia without any quarantine, and then we accept all kind of vaccine. That's make the international tourists easy to come to Indonesia. Okay, this is what we do. We increase the direct flight, whether to Jakarta, Bali, and other destination. We have many international airport. We have Garuda, Narita, from Narita is already arrived, and Jetstar from Australia. It's few months ago, but now it's already open. And then no quarantine, and the vaccine itself. For the first and second vaccine, I think Indonesian people is 80% already vaccinated for first and second vaccine, and for the booster, we reach the 40% of Indonesian population is already got the booster. And then since last week, we don't have to use mask for outdoor activity, but still in indoor activity, but I think it will be soon free of mask. Okay, this is, as I mentioned before, the vaccine. We are ranked number 5 in the world. quite a lot of number comparing the population of Indonesia. Now is 270 million, right? We have 270 million people in Indonesia. So 40% is quite a big number, I think. And then the opening of airport and others, no PCR test required for any arrival. Okay, I think you can see this letter. Okay, and then this year and next year we will focus on the quality of tourists. I mean, we will increase the quality of destination, and we will also increase the quality of the tourists which come to Indonesia. I mean, we hope that the tourists come to Indonesia, they will have more days in Indonesia, the spending days in Indonesia, and also the spending money they have in Indonesia. Okay, that's what we have. Okay, we have these campaigns, Indonesia Care. So for tourist sector like hotel, restaurant, and destination, we give them certificate we call Indonesia Care. So if they comply to the health protocol, and then we give them the certificate. That means all the operational in that place is already comply to the qualification. This is the certificate for cleanliness, health, safety, and environment sustainability. This is the travel. You can come from any port. This is the vaccine. We accept all kind of vaccine. The visa is already open now, the visa on arrival. So many countries. So far is now is 60. I think will be increased. Okay. Okay. In this year, we'll open some 5-star hotel in Indonesia. First, we will open the Pullman. It's already open, I mean, in Mandalika, the place for MotoGP. A few months ago, Pullman is already open. And then we have some other 5-star hotel within Bali, Mandalika, and also in other destination. This is also the hotel. Okay, this is for the investment. Why we think you need to invest in Indonesia? Because now we have various investment opportunity that we offer all for foreign investment. And then we make the regulation is easier for foreign investment to do investment in Indonesia. Okay, this is also the look for Indonesia. Okay, we have what we call online single submission, which is provided by Ministry of Investment for the people to have the license to do the business. Is very easy. It's online. Okay, I think we'll skip this. Okay. Okay. We have what we call super priority destination. We have 5 super destination of priority. The first one is Lombok, Mandalika, the place for MotoGP. And the second one is Labuan Bajo, where Komodo came from. And then next is Borobudur. I think you know the big temple in Borobudur. And then the next one is Likupang. Likupang is in North Sumatra, famous for the ocean. They are very beautiful in Likupang. And the last one is Danau Toba. Lake Toba in North Sumatra is a very big lake in Sumatra. That's our 5 super destination. Lake Toba is number 1. Upstairs is Lake Toba. Second is Borobudur. Next is Mandalika. Here the pointer is go. Okay, Labuan Bajo and Likupang. Okay, we also have what we call special economic zone. In this special economic zone, there is so many opportunity offered by the government. Let's say the tax reduction, the immigration regulation, the custom regulation is very easy for the investment to come. So far, this year we have 8 special economic zone. First is Pandeglang in West Java, and then Lombok in Mandalika, and then Tanjung Kelayang also in Sumatra, Belitung, and then Morotai in Sumatra, Morotai, and then we have Singosari in West Java, Likupang in Minahasa, Lido in Bogor, West Java is very close to Jakarta. This is the newest zone for special economic zone. Is managed by MNC Club. This is one of the biggest company in Indonesia. They will have theme park, hotel, and movie land and others. And also we have Nongsa in Batam is special for animation. They have very good animation studio in Batam, also for movie. So some of international movie, they take place in Nongsa, in Batam, because we already have the environment here in Batam. Okay, this is the project which already going on now. Here we have the Toba Resort, and then we have Raja Ampat live on board. We have Mandalika for the MotoGP, and then we have so many places here. It's still going on this 12th tourism project. Okay, this is also the Metaphora is in Wakatobi, is the beach and the sea, the underwater is very good in Wakatobi. And then the beach marina is also in Sulawesi or Celebes is very good also, the underwater. And then this is the other near Borobudur and others. Okay, that's what we have. This is our minister, Pak Sandiaga Uno. This is what we do. The Mandalika, the MotoGP event is one of the successful event last March, and there is million of people come to see the race. Even our president come to see. This is what we do. And now the occupancy of the hotel in Indonesia is already increased because the tourists is already come, whether international tourists or domestic tourists. Only last month, I think it's early this month, we have a special event, Idul Fitri for Muslim people. Is I think it's 70 million people travel during this holiday season all over Indonesia, and the hotel occupancy rate is increased, I think more than 40% this year, because the last 2 years we cannot go to our hometown because of the regulation. Now this is the first year finally we can go, and people are very excited for that. Okay, this is the visa on arrival. I think that's all from my presentation. We'll continue from Widya. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hanifa. So yeah, we see lots of innovation, lots of good opportunity, and lots of good stories from the Ministry of Tourism. And indeed, one of the key important of traveling ingredient is the safety measure, the convenience and the comfortability. So having said that, another way or one of the biggest innovation of Indonesia young talent is creating the digital tourism platform. And me myself, as one of the representatives of that, coming from digital traveling industry, I'd like to present one of the sample of innovation in Indonesia. May I please? Oh, thank you. Great, thank you. So sorry, let's go back. So please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Widya Lisyawalan. I'm the Vice President of Traveloka, Lifestyle Super App in Southeast Asia. And I'm here with Ministry of Tourism and Ministry of Investment. And first of all, I'd like to congratulate Ministry of Tourism for the marvelous event of MotoGP this year, yeah, Ibu, yeah, it's this March very, very successful. And I'd like to thank to BKPM to invite us in this occasion today. Now, let me start to share with you what is Traveloka. So Traveloka is a company, digital tech company, one of the biggest digital platform in Southeast Asia. And it was founded by young Indonesian who travel, live in the United States, work there, and return to Indonesia and thinking, well, we need something to help Indonesian citizen and people around the world to travel comfortably, very, very convenient fashion. So Ferry and Albert created this innovation. And 10 years ago, we started as a meta search engine and then transferred to online travel agent. And now, 10 years later, we are the lifestyle super app in Southeast Asia. Now, at the moment, we have more than 100 million downloader. That's quite big, and 40 million monthly active user and partners all over Southeast Asia. We are operating in 6 countries in Southeast Asia. And so I mentioned before that we started as a traveling online travel agent or online travel platform, and then now we transfer to Lifestyle Super App. In addition to providing people with a very convenient fashion in choosing hotels or a flight, now we have fintech, we have health, we have eats, and so on and so forth. So this is, Ibu, you mentioned about innovation, you mentioned about trying to provide services for Indonesia and other people to travel around Indonesia in a very comfortable style, and this is one of the evidence that innovation coming from young Indonesia is successfully created that demand. Now, these are one of the services that we have provided in 10 years. And we would like to share with you all that lots of initiative with Indonesian government has been placed between Traveloka and Government of Indonesia. One of them you mentioned about vaccination program. We collaborated in opening vaccination center. We provided people easy booking to get the vaccination, working with the Ministry of Health, working with the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy, and if I'm not mistaken, we reached more than 80,000 people, Ibu, booking from Traveloka and getting the vaccine program. And we work with you as well for Mandalika, for lots of events, Ibu, to include the sustainable tourism program that I would like to share later on. Now, so what's in it with the digitalization in traveling industry? Now, as you all know that before pandemic, you mentioned as well, Ibu, that tourism industry is actually one of the fastest industry in Indonesia, right? And it's actually contribute to 10% of global GDP. That's quite large, Ibu, yeah? And then after we provide digital service in traveling industry, actually we actually help customer to make sure that they have options. They have option in traveling. And for industry, we actually provide the platform to provide better service for customers. Now, this is another data, and you also mentioned that currently, if you see in this, in this number, oops, my apologize, that you write, Ibu, I second your opinion that in Q4 2021, the accommodation service or hotel industry is actually increasing. We see 80% domestic booking and more than 80%, 100% international booking. And that's big, and we're very grateful that actually government has relaxed the regulation, no PCR tests, and then no quarantine, and that's very significant effort. And if you compare with Q4 2021 and Q1 2019, actually the booking in the accommodation has increased very, very significantly. So that's a very good news. Now, this is another data that you could see when Delta variant hit Indonesia. Yes, we see a very significant drop in accommodation industry. But then actually in 2021, again, after the relaxing of regulation, we see a very significant increase. And when Omicron hit Indonesia, thank God, the drop of accommodation is not very severe, compared to the Delta variant. Now again, if you are familiar with Indonesian people, we like to travel a lot, and we actually, through our data, we see that in 3 months, lots of Indonesian people will travel around Southeast Asia. Now this shows that the tourism industry is already safe, already increasing, and ready to open more international visitors. Now, Ibu, Kemenpar also mentioned there's a different trend in tourism, in traveling, compared to before pandemic. And we see that, according to our data, indeed, we confirm that there are a new trend when people travel. Now, first of all, flexibility. If you all remember, especially for Indonesian, if you all remember, every single New Year's, we would put down our calendar and we check when is the national holiday, and then we start to book flight and accommodation, right? Now this year, after pandemic, we learned something. The trend of people traveling, they don't book like a year in advance like before, but they actually book right away before they start traveling. Now, it means when we provide traveling industry or traveling service, we have to make sure that the room for flexibility has to be big. We have to see that now people, when they travel, they will do like what you may call it, like a spontaneous plan, unlike pre-pandemic. Now, Kemenpar also mentioned that health, hygiene, and sustainability is another trend, and we confirm that. People always choose a place that ensure health and hygiene. That is the number one factor. And another trend is closer or local. Yes, we see throughout 2 years of COVID pandemic, domestic traveling is increasing. Young people of Indonesia, they are being asked to work from their room, from their house. After a year, the first thing that they want to do is working anywhere, working at the hotel, working at the resort. Now, that shows that, a lot of local what you might call it, local tourists or domestic traveler are increasing. Back to nature, another trend. We see that open air experiences is increasing. People like to travel outdoor, maybe because they feel more comfortable. And then again, right now with the new regulation, they are allowed to open their mask. We see that nature tourism, nature style of traveling will be increasing. I think that will be similar like Swiss. We see the nature in here is beautiful. Lots of people prefer to stay outdoor. I would say that Indonesia will have the same style as well, Ibu, ya. Next, okay. This is just to second again the Ministry of Tourism point that number one reason for people to travel is when they see that the accommodation place that they choose provide certification of health and cleanliness, and we see that trend as well, and we agree that that's number one consideration. And again, I congratulate Ministry of Tourism that provide that certification for all the accommodation services. Now I will skip this, and I would need help from the committee to turn on the video, please. So this year, with the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Industry, we launched a program called Sustainability Tourism. So what's in it for us? As a company that has been growing in Southeast Asia for 10 years, we believe that, environment is important. People start to consider that environment is important even when they are travel. So we launched this program. We plan mangrove, 40,000 mangrove in Bali as one of the #1 tourist destination in Indonesia. And we work with the Ministry of Tourism for this effort.
Nanti ikan-ikan itu tidak perlu lagi kita cari ke tengah. Jadi para nelayan itu tidak usah lagi pakai jukung ke tengah.
Mereka mancing gampang, mudah.
This is one of our local partner.
Sekarang masyarakat sudah mulai menanam mangrove dan tahu manfaatnya. Jadi mereka kembali lagi, sudah bisa melihat beberapa satwa yang hidup di sana, terus banyak ikan, terus bisa mereka untuk liburan, untuk keluarga juga.
Penanaman pohon mangrove ini akan menjadi cerita buat anak-anak cucu kita bahwa ini ditanam oleh sepulan mbah-mbah kami terdahulu sehingga dimanfaatkan oleh anak-anak cucu kita nanti kita ke depan. Nah, saya kira itu berkelanjutan, pemeliharaan, ada tim-tim khusus untuk merawatnya gitu.
Jadi harapan ke depannya yang lebih besar, mohon kepada semua pihak, terutama pemerintah, mungkin dari Traveloka juga mendukung tetap menjaga dan melestarikan hutan mangrove yang ada di Indonesia. Terutama juga yang ada di desa kami, mohon seperti itu. Karena dengan adanya mangrove banyak manfaat bagi masyarakat. Kerang juga ada, wisata, banyak satwa yang hidup di sana termasuk beberapa jenis burung juga. Dan itu akan menjadi bagian dari sisi ekonomi kami untuk mempromosikan terutama untuk pengunjung dan tamu.
Thank you. Now, just a little bit of our CSR program. So, in addition to the planting of mangrove in Bali, we also did lots of CSR activities that related to environment and health. Again, one of them I mentioned earlier, we provided easy booking for vaccination for the people of Indonesia. Also, we provided digital literacy training, Ibu, that's for the tourism sector and beyond. And we also support the Traveloka e-drivers. Ibu Hanifah mentioned that this year is the first time for Indonesia to be able to return to their village, to their hometown after Eid. And we help those our driver, to return to their hometown. So we sent actually 500 people to return to their hometown for free. And that's one of our responsibility effort. That's one of our consideration that when we want to grow together, then we have to help others. Now, just a final point, we also work a lot with small, medium businesses. Every single year, we provide a big program supported by your ministry called Epic Sale. And every year, we help more than 80,000 SMEs. So that will be increasing, Ibu and ladies and gentlemen, every year. And we hope to see more than 250,000 next year. So that's all, and I do hope some of you have some question, but I have a question for you, Ibu. So we know that one of the trend for people to travel overseas and to travel domestically is going outdoor, going to more environment-friendly area, Ibu. So according to your opinion, Ibu, and based on the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Industry trend, what is the effort done by your ministry to ensure that there is a sustainable tourism ecosystem in Indonesia?
Okay, yes, that's right. Now, tourists tend to go outdoor more than do the indoor activity. So we open more tourism destination, which is provide the outdoor experience for the tourists. And also we work with the people in the village to open the homestay. So not only they can stay in the hotel, they can stay also in the homestay, and then they can get the experience staying in the homestay. They can feel the environment, the culture of the people in the village, and then get involved with the owner of the homestay. So we also have a program to have more homestay, not only in hotels, so tourists have more choice whether they want to stay in the hotel or they want to stay in the homestay to get more intimate experience with the people.
Right, and we agree with that. One of the effort for that collaboration, actually, Traveloka and other industry player has been working a lot with your ministry and Ministry of ICT, as well as Ministry of Education and Higher Education, to provide digital training, ya, Ibu, ya. And we actually reach more than 100,000 people being trained by industry platforms supported by the government on how they utilize the digital skill to push their business, yeah. And on top of that, Ibu, I would also like to mention that in addition to I mentioned about the fintech, or being safe traveler. Now, Traveloka also see that when people travel, back then before pandemic, it's always okay to use cash, right? You pull money from your wallet and then you pay on the spot. But after pandemic, there is a significant increase that people now prefer to use cashless or e-wallet, or pay later and so on and so forth. And how do you see this, Ibu? Is it going to be the trend that you see as well coming from the ministry? Because that's what we see from industry. Over to you, Ibu.
Of course. We also working together with some financial institution like banking and others, because we see the trends. People like to cashless, to do the digital payment. And then one point is we're not always bringing enough cash if we want to go travel. Let's say if I go to some place and I want to buy some souvenir, but I don't bring enough money, if I can do the cashless, just scan the barcode and then I can pay digitally, it will be easy for the tourists, and it also can do the health protocol.
That's right. Well, speaking about health protocol, another innovation that we actually work together is providing a campaign of health protocol in our platform. And I'm sure this also happened across the other digital player, yeah? But with Traveloka, we actually work with Peduli Lindungi, the official application launched by the Ministry of Health, ya, Ibu, ya. So when you travel to Indonesia, or when you travel across island in Indonesia, you know the standard, right? You have to scan the QR, you have to make sure that your vaccination card is appear, and so on and so forth. And for Traveloka, that's very, very crucial. One of the innovations that we have is actually providing teleconsultation, Ibu. So when you travel across the island, and when you travel across the nation to Indonesia, and you feel unwell, you could easily talk to the doctor via Traveloka. That's something that we want to make sure that people travel, people have a good time, but people do cashless because it's healthier, and people feels comfortable because doctors is everywhere, right?
Yeah, and one more thing is we can verify the international vaccine. If you have vaccinated the type of the vaccine, you can register your vaccine in our application, Peduli Lindungi, and then you can use that for traveling around Indonesia. Let's say if you want to go from Jakarta to Bali, they just show the apps, and then you are easy to go. That's easy.
That's wonderful, Ibu. Now, do you have any question? I mean, I keep talking. Please, would you mind stating your name before your question? There's one mic over there.
First of all, thank you, Traveloka, Ministry of Tourism, and BKPM for organizing this event, and glad to see the tourism sector is back on its feet again after 2 years. So my name is Nick. I'm part of Systemic. I'm the Indonesia lead for sustainable finance and oceans. We are a system change company with the sole purpose of accelerating the Paris Agreement and the SDGs. There's two things I feel that can be very helpful for Indonesia. The first one is the coalition, the Sustainable Tourism Global Center that is launched in Glasgow. The coalition is a multi-stakeholder and multi-country platform that aims to accelerate and lead countries and support countries to achieve net zero for the tourism sector. We know the tourism sector contributes 8% to the greenhouse emissions, right? This coalition aims to bring together all stakeholders to help them to make a roadmap, basically, to achieve net zero for the tourism industry. And Traveloka is a prime example of how a bottom-up approach can is a key part of that journey, right? And so keen to connect to explore how Indonesia can be involved in that coalition. And the second would be on the investment opportunity, Bu Hani, that you showed. We are also supporting the Global Fund for Coral Reefs, where we are investing around $170 million to Indonesia on 3 sectors: the ocean production sector, the ecotourism sector, and waste management. And we will be very keen to explore a pipeline with you on the super priority projects. So I think that's my reflections, and thank you again for organizing this event.
Thank you, Nick. Pleased to see you again. Ibu Hanifah, would you like to add your comment on his perspective?
We are very open for the collaboration between the government and the private sector. Of course, the government cannot do alone. We need to collaborate. And then the waste management is one important thing, I think, because if we go to some tourism place and then there is a lot of garbage, we will feel not comfortable, right? We also have some startup doing the plastic
recycling program.
Yeah, the recycling program for plastic. And then we have some startup, they use seaweed for straw, and then even for a cap. We can use many of Indonesian source to help the earth, and then we can travel more comfortable then.
That's true.
Let's collaborate then.
Thank you, Bu Hanifah. Nick, I second your opinion. Looking forward to collaborate more into a very technical and practical level. But let me add something, Ibu. In addition to 40,000 mangrove that we actually planting in Bali, last year actually we worked with the government of Lombok and we actually plant 10,000 mangroves. So on top of 40, we actually already hit 50,000. But you're right, the waste management is very crucial issue, and actually this year we're going to focus to that as well, Nick. And in Traveloka, if you look at your apps, we also do a campaign in green accommodation. So there is option to choose green accommodation via your apps, and again that align with SDG goal. But the ingredient of SDG goal itself, we have portrayed that through the innovation, through the digital booking, right? By using digital platform, we actually reduce the use of print paper and so on and so forth. So again, we align with SDGs. Thank you, Nick. Thank you. Any other question? Because I have 2 more things that I'd like to have your opinion, Ibu, while waiting for other people to ask. Ibu, in terms of investment, Ibu, you mentioned that this year is a great investment in tourism sector. Tell me more about that, Ibu. Are you referring to specific sector of tourism or broader aspect, Ibu?
Yeah, for the tourism, we have a special economic zone, which is very easy to invest in the special economic zone. As I mentioned before, we already have 8 special economic zone. So, of course, the focus is tourism. But tourism is not only the destination, but also include the accommodation, include the place in the tourism destination like the restaurant, the souvenir shop, and then the amusement park and others. So the investment is a very wide area in tourism. We are
Great,
open.
thank you. Thank you. Now, Ibu, you mentioned about the holistic of tourism, the holistic ecosystem of tourism, to include actually the people around the object of tourism. Now, that said, we talk about the capacity building, Ibu, and we all know we work together in terms of providing capacity building for people in the tourism ecosystem. Bu. Is there any plan to boost bigger number of people trained by Ministry of Tourism, Ibu, to support the growth of tourism industry?
Yeah, we are working together with some private company. We do the capacity building for the people. Let's say for the owner of the homestay, we do the training in hospitality, how they serve the guests, and then also the sustainable tourism.
That's right.
Let's say in the hotel, we encourage the hotel to use local product instead of brand tea from international brand. We encourage the hotel to use local product. Let's say we have a lot of tea, we had a lot of coffee, and then other things. So that's one of our program. We call it ecosystem.
Holistic.
Yes, holistic ecosystem, and then we hope that it will be increased. Now we already have some MOU with Accor Group and others hotel chains hotel, and then I hope it will be grow next.
That's right, and that's the role of private sector or digital platform like us, because we have the skill, we have the content, and we are very much looking forward to share that with others. So that's all from us, Ibu. Do you have any 2 cents to close this dialogue, Ibu? Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I think now we are very open. The tourism is already growing up. So please come to Indonesia as tourists and also as investor. We are welcome you.
To second that, again, Ibu, thank you so much. Thank you for the government of Indonesia, because the relaxing of regulation. Now, after this trip from Davos, we go back to Indonesia. We don't need to have PCR, so our nose is safe, right? So that's a good news, right? And we don't need to have self-quarantine, so we can travel to Bali and do much better quarantine with family. So happy to host lots of people all over the world. And we have new tourist destination, and to make your traveling more comfortable, more convenient, and again, safety or environment friendly. Don't forget to try to use more efficient and economic means of traveling, like Traveloka Super App. Thank you. So I hand it over to the committee.
Okay, thank you. See you soon in Indonesia.
See you soon in Indonesia.